the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, a wonderful Sunday evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Dirt Racing Network in our live coverage of the DownNDirty Outlaws 360 Sprint Car Series. Drivers checked in tonight at Eldora. There are about 34 checked into the pits tonight. Big show, big night of racing for you. Week 1 winner, Cole West, right now 8th quickest in the practice session, but nonetheless, in the server, we'll see if he can repeat. They had a week off last week, back in action tonight. Drivers are about ready to head down to qualifying. While they're doing their qualifying, we will do our pre-race ceremonies, get our invocation, our national anthem out of the way, as is our tradition. So we'll turn it over to public address when we come back. The end of qualifying and straight to heat races.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
And now, please welcome Pastor Sam Foley from Port Orange, Florida, to deliver tonight's invocation.
Father, we ask today that you protect and bless those who participate in this race. May they use good sportsmanship and respect for each other. And we'll thank you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, big thank you to the Foley boys, as always. Gonna catch the end of qualifying. Jaden Wolf on track right now. Right now, Cameron Pritchard, Tommy Scott Jr., two quickest in the qualifying session. 13-18, 13-19. And then it'll drop to a 13-24 for Smith. Bowen Smith. So, final driver It's taking time. Terrell Wheeler winding his down. 34th quick overall. Cameron Pritchard, your quickest in the session. Don't be afraid to say hi in the chat, guys. If you're on Facebook, drop by the Dirt Racing Network's Facebook page. Like, share, and follow. If you're on YouTube and Twitch, be sure you hit the subscribe button. You know, every time we go live, business picking up as we start to get into the cold part of the year. How about you guys? We raced this weekend, and it was not chilly where we were at, so hopefully it's a little chillier as some other places, and you can spend some time inside watching the Dirt Racing Network. PRO Tuesday night. Sadly, I do not remember where they are at, so I cannot confirm nor deny. Just know it's 360 wingless sprint cars. And then the Netcode Esports Mighty Midgets back on Thursday. A week from tomorrow night, things really start to get alive as we start to pick up. There'll be a show on Sunday, 2 on Monday, 1 on Tuesday, 2 on Wednesday, and 2 on Thursday starting next week. But drivers gridding out for heat race number 1. Let's get down here and look at our starting lineup. Going to be JP Scheider on the pole. Next to him, going to be Blaine Brink. Brink in the 21, Scheider in the 5. The 24, Josh Whiteman on the inside of row number 2 next to Cameron Pritchard. Pritchard, another 21 machine. That machine white with red and gray trim. Donald Toulos, the 99 car, inside of row number 3 next to Chase Swafford, the 75. And on the back row, Ethan Greek will be in the 19 car. Oh, and I feel like we need to reload that. Watch them roll down here into 3 and 4. Side by side, ready to go. One to go signal from the starter. We'll be getting green and next time out of turn number 4. See what Scheider can do from the pole. Lined up side by side. Ready to go. Pace truck headed to the infield. Green flag in the air. We're underway. Down and Dirty Outlaws 360 wing sprint car from Eldora. Little tappy tap on the back there from Brink on Scheider. Scheider has the lead in 3 and 4. He's going to lead lap 1 side by side with Whiteman and Pritchard. They go through 2 side by side down the backstretch, still side by side. Can't shake one another. Whiteman tried to cut it down. Now a big run on the outside for Pritchard. Pritchard going to pull alongside, be side by side with Brink for just a second. Now Pritchard takes over the second spot. Pritchard works to the inside, slider line on Scheider. Scheider cuts across. They're going to be side by side in 3 and 4. Scheider with the advantage coming out of 4, comes up, puts the block on 3 to go. Down the backstretch, once again, challenge for the lead. Does it materialize as Pritchard holding steady in the second spot. Scheider staying married to that slider line in 3 and 4. Pritchard has to try to cut underneath. Here comes the slider in 1 and 2. Scheider saw that coming a quarter mile away. They're going to come around to catch 1 to go. Scheider is still going to be out in front. Now Pritchard goes for it again. This time tries to lock the car in a little bit lower. It didn't quite work out. We're going to see who's got it in 3 and 4. Scheider goes in slider line. Will he have it? Coming out 3 wide. I think Pritchard ends up winning that one. Then Brink and then Scheider went in with the lead, come out third. So only your top two transferred in. As we'll get ready to run down the lineup for Heat 2. It's going to be Kyle Hanshaw, the 46, on the pole. The 69 of David Fossard on his outside. Dylan Hutchison, the 28 car, inside row number 2. Tommy Scott Jr. on the outside of that row in the 4 car, the 04 car. The 97 of Connor Darnell inside row number 3 next to Stephen Tuberville. Stephen Turbeville in the 4 car. And then the 94 of Greg Leonard is going to start shotgun on this heat. So the first one, pretty exciting right down to the end. Track looks very racy right now. We'll see how long that lasts. This thing tends to go one line at some point. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope everybody's enjoying the show so far. Be sure you say hi in the chat. Don't care where you are, we can see you. YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. All right, lights are off on the pace truck, waiting for it to make that hard left. They are tight to the back of that pace truck right here. Getting ready to come around for this green flag.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag in the air. Hanshaw grabs the lead side by side with Fossard and Hutchison behind that. Into 3 and 4. Big slider there for a 5th. That was Tommy Scott. Now we're still going to be side by side. Starting to single file out. They get them all single file down the backstretch for just a moment. Now, Tommy Scott, Hanshaw going at contact there. That's going to put Hanshaw into the fence. He's going to roll it over. No caution. He's behind the field. So Scott goes all the way to the lead. Here comes Hutchison and Leonard. Hanshaw, out in front of these guys. Damaged car going to try to just hold on to some spots. He ends up with Hutchison over top. Now, big crash. Oh, my. That's Hutchison getting away from it. Turbeville's car destroyed. No cautions in your heats, folks. No cautions in your heat races. Coming around the 2 to go. Scott, Leonard, Fossard, Darnell, and Hutchison in that order. Only the top 2 go straight to the A main. Everybody else gets to play in our alphabet soup tonight. We had a C and a B week number 1. The white flag out for the second time tonight. Leonard right there. Can he do something down in 3 and 4 on the final lap? Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Scott's going to win it. Leonard's going to come home second. Then Darnell, Fossard, Hutchison. Turbeville and Hanshaw went to the pits early. So that one got interesting quick. Stayed interesting pretty much throughout. As the drivers are starting to line up. It's going to be Jeff Creamer, the 11 car, on the pole with Kyle Sargent, the 91, next to him. Your second row on the inside. Coulter West, week 1 winner, inside, and Bowen Smith in the 12 car on the outside. Then Miles Jansen Jr., the 35, starts inside of row number 3 next to Grant Vickery. That's the 44 car. And the 15 of Dean Garrity will start in the 7th position. Should get the green the next time out of 4. Heat race number 3 already rolling. Pace truck is in. Creamer, great start on the front. Green flag is out. Big slide from West. Came from third, going to go after second. Now he's 3 wide in the middle. Bowen Smith was on the top side. Now Bowen cuts underneath Sargent. Takes over second. West got a shot at second, or third, against Sargent. That's not going to work out. Too much momentum off top side. I think the top side is going to start to become stronger and stronger as we go through the next couple of heat races here. You see these cars staying closer and closer to that outside wall. Little tap there from West on the back of Sargent. Wiggles him around, gets a right rear into the fence. That time, Sargent into the back. Put himself into the fence on that one. Good battle starting to shape up at the front with 4 to go. Creamer's got the lead with Smith. Bowen Smith tucked in tightly behind. He is running right against the outside wall. Now cuts the car to the bottom. He pulls alongside. Did not have it that time. He may have it coming out of 2. Short slider. Got the momentum on the top. Goes all the way to the outside. Creamer decided not to slam that door, and it's a good thing he did because Smith was already beside. Smith out to the front. He'll see the 1 to go signal first. Garrity up to third, but here comes Coulter West fighting back. So is Miles Jansen. So your top 2 pretty much gone on this one. Smith is going to win it. Creamer's going to come home second. They'll transfer to the A main. Third is going to go to Garrity, then Jansen, West, Vickery, and Sargent. So get ready to go down for heat number 4. It's going to be Brody Brown, the 334 car on pole, and Cole Shapesky in the 9, starting on the outside of the front row. Jacob Adam, 27 car, inside row number 2 next to Chad Griggs. That's another 27 machine. So 27 versus 27 in row number 2. The 4 car of Tyler Street starts inside row number 3 next to Heath Dietrich in the 1 car. And then Terrell Wheeler will start on the back of heat number 4. A lot of good action. Through the first 3. All right, got them lined up side by side. Lights off on the pace vehicle. Coming around to turn number 4, green flag.
Green flag.
Green flag in the air. Great jump for Brown. Got away from the pole, nice and smooth, big gap, side by side by side. Behind that is Street goes on the slider line, couldn't grab the spot. Adam comes back. Now 3 wide again. They're going to single file that down very quickly. It's going to be Brown, Adam, Street through the top 3. Griggs side by side with Shapesky. That's for 4th. Little cut under right there off the slider line. Shapesky trying to hang on the 9 car. Dietrich really giving him a fit with that. Or I'm sorry, that's Chad Griggs. Chad Griggs in the 27. Really giving him a fit with that slider line right now. It looks like he's going to secure the spot. Jacob Adam, about a half a second behind your leader. Brody Brown jumped off the pole right before the green flag, and he's got a half a second out in front of these guys. 3 to go this time around. Still Brown, Adam Griggs, Chapeski, Dietrich, Wheeler up to 6th. And Tyler Street way back, and Street had problems. Really had to grab the car up a little bit ago. In the midst of some of that action, slider came from Adam, and he wasn't able to get it there. Going to have a couple more shots if he can get close. Doesn't look like Brown's going to give this one up as he's on the white flag lap. Into 3 and 4 for the final time. Heat number 4. Brown wins it. He and Jacob Adam going to transfer the A main. Then Griggs, Chapeski, Dietrich, Wheeler, and Street going to round out the field. So, quick peek at what we're about to get here, folks. Sorry, I got to look. We're going to get a final heat race. And it looks like we're going to line up like this. Trace Olson, the 25, on pole next to Kellen Sabo in the 2. The 56 of Randy Shreves will start inside row number 2 next to Titan Vanderwert. That's the 007. Jaden Wolf, the 7 car, on the inside of the 3rd and final row next to Bryce Houndstein. Houndstein in the 84. One more time around. Final heat race of the evening. We'll have 10 drivers locked in. We will start our consolation / elimination races, a.k.a. the soup. See what we can get for transfers. 24 drivers, going to whittle them down to about 10 out of the B main. All right, pace truck making the hard left turn into the infield. Green flag back in the air. Pretty good start for Olson. Got about 15 car lengths. Now that starts to close up on the exit of turn number 2. Into 3 and 4 they come. Sabo sitting in second. He's got Shreves side by side with Vanderwert behind that. Shreves went for the short slider line there, kept it down low. They were 3 wide for a split second. Vanderwert down the inside on Shreves, going to slide it up across the nose in 4. He's got 3rd, move Shreves to 4th. Battle at the front. Olson with a mistake getting into 1. That opens a door, and Sabo cuts underneath. He grabs the lead going into turns 3 and 4. Up against the wall, Sabo for lap number 2, but the slider coming right back across. That was not ever going to happen as Sabo saw that coming way back. Now Sabo starting to stretch it out, quarter second this time. Vanderwert into 3rd. He is reeling these guys in. He's got Shreves in tow. They're both catching up to our leaders. Vanderwert right through the middle, cut the track down in length quite a bit right there and closed up about 4 car lengths. Sabo, Kellen Sabo, running a little bit lower. Now sliders up across to the exit of 4. 2 to go that time around. This time, Olson goes for the slider in 3 and 4, coming to the white flag. They'll get there at the same time. Sabo by quarter car. Out of 2 down the backstretch. Big run for Olson. Sabo covers the middle, now covers the inside. Is it enough to hang on and win the heat? It is. Kellen Sabo and Trace Olson straight to the A main. Vanderwerk, Shreves, Houndstein, and Wolf are going to have to play alphabet soup. So we're going to have a D main, going to be 6 cars. Going to be Wheeler and Wolf on row 1, Greek and Hanshaw in row 2, Sargent and Street in the 3rd row. Yeah, Scott, not too bad. Pretty good racing to this point. Going to get these guys to roll off here. Whoops, accident there. Let's see how many are going to transfer. Four are going to be our transfer numbers till we get to RB main. So D to the C, C to the B, B into the feature. We got 10 locked in. We'll bring 10 more. They'll get the green the next time out of turn number 4 for the D main. 2 drivers will be eliminated. All right, pace truck will make the hard left right about here. Tara Wheeler on the throttle. Good start for him. He and Jaden Wolf get 1-2 quickly. Wolf tried to go for the slider, had to pin the car down a little bit because the middle was occupied by the 43 of Wheeler. Slowed up Wolf enough. The Greek got to the back end of the car. Now trying to go underneath. Not going to get there. Top 4 broken away. Wheeler, Wolf, Greek, and Sargent. Street quite a ways back, and Hanshaw even further back than that. We'll get to the front here. 8 to go, and Jaden Wolf really putting the pressure on, running right against the outside fence. Got a big run down the backstretch, closes up pretty tight. He'll go high side in 3 and 4. Car really moving around on that fluff up there. We can't call it a cushion because it really never builds into any kind of a ledge, but Wolf uses that to get around and take the lead with 6 to go. Wheeler back to second. Sargent now going to the top side. He is going to go around Greek. He is going to take over third. That big wobble right there almost cost him the spot back. So Ethan Greek in 4th. And it is a full straightaway back to Tyler Street. All right, now, Jaden Wolf hanging out on the top side. Keeping the 7 car wound up. 4 laps to go. D main. Sargent got around Greek and really stretched things out. Greek starting to struggle, and Greek could end up in the clutches of Tyler Street before this is over. As we got 3 laps to go, and Greek really struggling to find grip here. Wolf almost 0.7 of a second out in front with 2 to go. Had a problem in 1 and 2, but got it gathered back up. Now it's a full 0.8. We're watching the battle for the final transfer spot that's forming up right here as we take the white flag, and Tyler Street in with a slider in 1 and 2. Can he keep the momentum on the exit, make up the distance, and keep a spot into the C main? It's Wolf, Wheeler, Sargent, and Street as Greek gives it up going to the white flag. He and Kyle Hans shall be done for the evening. We'll see the top 4 in the C main. So Street gets it done. Moves up into the C main. They're gridding that out right now. They're going to line up like this. Dylan Hutchison and Coulter West on row number 1. Heath Dietrich and Bryce Houndstein in row 2. Josh Whiteman, Steve Turbeville in row number 3. Row 4, Grant Vickery and Jaden Wolf coming out of that D main. He brought Terrell Wheeler and Kyle Sargent, who fill up a row number 5 with him, and Tyler Street on the white flag lap down into 1 and 2. Snuck by Greek and picked up that final transfer spot. So his night will continue. So they get ready to push him off of pit road. We'll take 4 from here, put them back into the B. And I believe they take 10 from that B main and move them to tonight's A. They will join the 10, the top 2 from each of the heat races. Track's starting to show a lot of wear now, especially in that lower and middle groove. So this thing may end up with a high side feel for just a little bit here. But I think we'll see about halfway through the feature, the bottom is going to start to come back. As we got 10 more consolation race laps. Drivers tightening the field up. Pace truck about to make the hard left turn.
Green, green, green.
Green flag in the air. C main underway. Hutchison quickly to the slider line. Big gap. 3 wide behind him. 3 wide with West, Whiteman, and Dietrich. That settles down as West takes over second. Now they're almost 3 wide behind that. Whiteman, Dietrich, and Henshaw, Houndstein. Houndstein, the 84 car, right up against the fence. He's in a 2 wide. That's for one of the transfer spots. He grabs it. Bryce Houndstein, the 84, into the 4th and final transfer spot with 8 to go. Little bit down from the top. Now comes the slider from Whiteman. Whiteman deep into 1 and 2. Grabs the spot momentarily, but Houndstein comes right back at him. Short slider into 3 and 4. That time Whiteman bumps the fence with the right rear. Here comes Tyler Street. Street barely snuck in from the D main, and he's up here in the 6th spot, only a couple of places out with about 5 laps to go. Hutchison still out in front by half a second. West 2nd, Dietrich 3rd, Houndstein 4th. They start to line up behind that, Whiteman and Street, as Whiteman's going to look to make a bid to take the 4th spot. That time, Houndstein in low, slides up to the middle. There's a lot of momentum on the top line. He tried to shut the door, but Whiteman already had his nose there. Put the 24 of Whiteman in the transfer spot. Here comes Tyler Street. Street's going to go in low, keep it down bottom. I don't think that's going to work for him. He'll lose a bunch of distance, but he's still got 2 laps to go. He did it on the white flag lap the last time. That time Houndstein found the fence in 3 and 4. Didn't slow him down one bit. 24 car of Whiteman, your final direct transfer from the C to the B. He may not be done here. White flag in the air. It looked like he was going to go for another spot. Not a good slider out of Dietrich right there. It's going to be Hutchison and West 1-2. Who's going to be 3 and 4? Whiteman and Dietrich take the 4 spots. Houndstein, Street, Turbeville, Vickery, Sargent, Wolf, and Wheeler all finished for the night. So the B main field set. We'll move Hutchison, West, Whiteman, and Dietrich to the back of that. That's coming up next. We'll take 10 drivers. Out of that B main, move them to the A. There's 15 scheduled to be in it now. And the B main will line up like this. J.P. Scheider, Connor Darnell on a row number 1. Dean Garrity and Chad Riggs in the second row. Titan Vanderwert and Chase Swafford. Your third row, your fourth row, David Foster, Miles Jensen, Cole Shapesky, and Randy Shreves in the fifth row. Donald Tulos and Dylan Hutchison are making up a row number 6. And then with Hutchison from the C main, Coulter West and Josh Whiteman in row 7. And on the back, Heath Dietrich rounding out the field. Good Lord, what was that about? So they'll make their way around a couple of times. Everybody get a good look at the racing surface. Top side really starting to become the preferred line here. Tough enough to run up there. It gets a couple of bumps in. It makes it even tougher for these drivers. But no passing was done in either the D or the C main from the bottom. All the passing was done when guys left the top open or somebody got a big run through the middle, was able to cut down and then get back to the top before the next corner. So we'll see how it plays out. 5 more drivers to be knocked out of this one. 2 out of the first one. 7 out of the last one. 5 out of this one. Field to be set. Green flag into the air. B main underway, and Scheider got a good start. It is a wolf pack behind him. 3, 4, almost 5 wide back through the top 10 in this one. Garrity going to go for the lead in 1 and 2. Scheider going to have to cut down. I think Scheider by just a smidge of that time by. Garrity trying to hang on to second. Big battle behind that. Vanderwert and Darnell going at it side by side. Darnell got Chase Swafford right behind him. Swafford, the 75, down on the inside, gives up the spot to Vanderwert. Now battle at the front again as Garrity tried to go for it. Scheider had to fend him off. That time Scheider with a problem on the exit. Garrity's right there to pounce on him. 6 to go. Garrity now with the advantage. Side by side again. Scheider with the slide job. Garrity cuts underneath. Scheider banks it off the fence at the exit of turn 4. Grabs the lead at the line. Now banks it off the fence and Garrity's able to hang on. Garrity grabs the lead. Scheider second. Vanderwert right behind. Here comes Darnell. Chase Swafford up to 5th. Randy Shreves, Chad Griggs, Josh Whiteman, Cole Chapesky, and Donald Tulos making up the top 10 right now. Hutchison, Foster, Jansen, Dietrich, and West. Dietrich and West both off track. But this battle for the lead far from over. We're into lap traffic. There's Miles Jansen, first car to be lapped, it looks like. As we're down to 2 to go. A lot of action at the front of this one. Scheider keeping it wound up on the top, keeps bumping that right rear on the fence in and through these corners. The white flag coming out. Scheider goes down to the inside. He and Garrity have contact. Both drivers keep the car facing forward, but Scheider ends up with the spot out front. Garrity trying to hang on for a second. Here comes Vanderwert. Scheider wins it. Then Garrity, Vanderwert, Darnell, Shreves, Griggs, Whiteman, Swafford, Shapesky, and Tulos. Your top 10, Hutchison, Foster, Jansen, Dietrich, and West. Rounding things out. So, A main field now set. As that one ends in exciting fashion. They say the warm-up's 5 minutes. I doubt they take that long. We're going to pay a bill or two real quick when we come back. Feature time for the Down and Dirty Outlaws. All righty. Back to it. Sorry, had to answer a message from up in race control. That is all handled. Drivers getting ready to advance the session and be good to go out here for tonight's feature. Oh, crap. That shouldn't be showing like that. Don't know why that didn't change, but we had to re-enter it. So now it does say Eldora, not Volusia. All right. Just waiting. There's the advance of the session. We'll get ready to go down track side. 24, so 14 of those drivers transferred through. So 24 drivers on the track, not 20. Now I understand why some of those guys are out there sticking around making some laps, because it made good sense. All right, let's look at the starting grid for tonight's feature. It's going to be Cameron Pritchard and Tommy Scott on the front row. Bowen Smith and Brody Brown. Row 2, row 3, Kellen Sabo and Blaine Brink. Greg Leonard and Jeff Creamer in row 4. Jacob Adam and Trace Olson making up the 5th row. Those were all heat race winners. Your 6th row, JP Scheiderer. Oops, why did it do that? JP Scheiderer and Dan Garrity. Coming out of that B main, everybody else from the B main, Titan Vanderwert, Connor Darnell. Your 7th row, your 8th row, Randy Shreves and Chad Griggs. Row 9, Josh Whiteman and Chase Swafford. The 10th row, Cole Shapesky and Donald Tulos. And then Dylan Hutchison and David Fossard in row 11. And the 12th and final row, Miles Jensen and Heath Dietrich. .30 green flag laps. Pritchard. Scott on the front row. Green flag coming out of turn 4 this time.
Green, green, green.
Down and Dirty Outlaw 360. Sprint cars underway from Eldora Speedway. Through 1 and 2. Everybody spreading out wide. Look back at about 10th place Creamer. Creamer was up against the fence. He was in a 3 wide right there. Fireworks still going off. Guys coming around to complete lap number 2. Pritchard out in front. Scott second. Bowen is third. Leonard and Sabo 4 and 5. That's a big hornet's nest starting to build up right there around Sabo. Now Leonard, by half a car, has 4th away from Sabo. Top 3 single file. 2 wide behind that for several rows. Scheiderer was side by side with Vanderwert for a second. Now Garrity and Brown are side by side. Garrity slicing through the field. Gene Garrity would put up a heck of a battle in the B main. He and Scheiderer went at it pretty hard. Tiny bit of contact towards the end, settled that one. Here comes Scheiderer. Big wreck down in 1 and 2. And we're going to watch the 5 of Scheiderer. Slides across Sabo's nose. Oh, now he and Sabo with a little bit of contact. They both end up in the fence. Wing goes flying off into the crowd. Sabo's car heavily damaged. That wing crumpled up pretty good all the way around. Looks like toe out is really knocked out on the front end of that thing. Don't know if he's going to be able to get it back. They're going to roll the 5 car into the pit. So Scheiderer, don't know if he's going to get to come back. Chase Swafford into the pits as well. Chad Griggs and Sabo getting her fixed up and rolling back out. They got a new wing on the top of Scheiderer's car, so it looks like he's going to be able to continue. Blaine Brink off track. But Pritchard, Scott, Smith, Leonard, Garrity, Vanderwert, Brown, Creamer, Shreves, and Whiteman are your top 10 right now. Still 25 laps to go. So we'll get them doubled back up, get ready to go back to green. Pace truck in, green flag back in the air. And Pritchard really not wasting any time. He gets on the throttle, the car launches. Pretty good move from the 21 there. Tommy Scott up to second. Garrity now up to third with a slider around Bowen Smith. They're going to be 3 wide through 2 for a second. Garrity keeps the spots. Smith and Leonard now side by side. Leonard down to the bottom of the 94 car. Now Smith takes the spot, move Leonard to 5th, Vanderwert 6th, Creamer 7th, and Brown, Whiteman, Shreves through the top 10. But Pritchard out in front, and he is making this look pretty easy. So he is just riding right around the top of the track. Right rear, right on the fluff right there, right where the cushion would normally be. It is more of just kind of a ramp right now. And he is right up there. He's going to be in lap traffic here pretty quick. Scheiderer's car way off the pace. Still probably got a lot of damage on that 5 car. Looks like he is struggling to get it through the corners. Swafford, the only car not on the track. We'll drop back here to third. A look at Tommy Scott as he tries to reel in Garrity, but he's got company around the top side. Bowen Smith with a great move in 3 and 4. Had a lot of momentum, and Smith starting to find something running around the very top of the track. Scheiderer takes the car to the pit. He'll get out of the way for everybody. Smith trying to slide it in, just barely get up on that little bit of a rise right there and use it to turn the car and ramp off. He got out of shape in 4. It looks like Leonard's going to go back after him, but it ain't going to work out. Pritchard is gone. 2 1/4 seconds. From first to that battle we were just looking at with Garrity and Smith. Pritchard at the halfway point on a Sunday drive. Car spread all the way around. Nothing for the leader for a full set of corners right now. He is just riding around the top, making it look super easy out here. There is no easy spots at Eldora. So Pritchard, 2.7 seconds ahead of Garrity in the 15. Now Garrity gets some breathing room from Smith. Smith in the 12 sits in third. Then it's back to Leonard, Scott, Vanderwert. Vanderwert and Scott, the 2 closest cars to battling on the track, and I think that's fixing to heat up right here. We're inside 12 to go. Vanderwert trying to go around the top side. He's going to go alongside. He's going to take over the 5th spot. Caution. Blaine Brink have a crash? 21 of Brink. Oh, car got sideways. That was Miles Jansen. Then Brink just took it straight into the fence. Looked like maybe something on the front of that car just gave up. And he went for one heck of a ride right there. So that'll slow things down, bring everybody back together. And with 10 to go, we'll get us a restart. Pritchard, Garrity, Smith, Leonard, Vanderwert, Scott, Shreves, Whiteman, Creamer, and Brown the top 10. 3 retirees at this point: Brink, Scheiderer, and Swafford. See if the lights go off on our pace vehicle. They do indeed. We're going to double the drivers back up, have a restart with about 10 to go. All right, pace truck getting out of the way. Green flag about to come back out. Pritchard with another great start. Garrity not quite as good. He's going to hold off Smith. Smith bumped the fence and caution as Randy Shreves. And Shreves had all kinds of problems here. Shreves right in the middle of the screen. 56 machine. Down into the corner, gets a love tap, and then makes a parking lot out of the love tap. And that is not what they mean when they say autoerotica. So we'll re-rack them, get them ready to go again. Going to be 9 to go. So 9 laps. Remaining in this one. Pretty good racing so far. We've seen Pritchard just drive off and leave these guys. But he could see behind him. He had seen some really, really good battles. So they're going to tighten things up. Everybody's going to try to get kind of close and tight here. Bowen Smith leaving a little gap. Maybe thinks Garrity might get into the back of Pritchard here. But the restart coming. Pritchard on the throttle. Garrity on the throttle. Bowen not able to close up. And Pritchard opens up a couple of car lengths. Leonard hanging tough in 4th. And then Vanderwert and Scott 5th and 6th. Back to the battle for 2nd right here as it looks like Pritchard really not doing anything different than he's done all night, running right against the fence, keeping that car nice and smooth. Slow car down at the bottom, stays out of the way. That might have been Dylan Hutchison's car. I'm not sure. May have been Blaine Brink's car. I'm not exactly sure. Inside 7 to go. Garrity now's got a couple of car length gap over Bowen Smith. That's 2nd and 3rd. Greg Leonard still in the 4th spot, and he's got a big gap between he and Tommy Scott. And Vanderwert's going after Scott. That's for a top 5 finish. Inside 6 to go now. No, most some contact. Everybody doing a great job staying off of one another. Scott grabs the spot back. Vanderwerk, Adam, and Whiteman in behind that. Will go back close to the front here. Looks like Garrity easily starting to get away from Smith again, but Pritchard just driving away from everybody. 4 to go. Smith still got his hands full for a podium finish with Greg Leonard. Leonard is all over him. Went down to the bottom to see if anything was there. Just cannot come forward. Running on the bottom, Bowen Smith gets a big gap now with 3 to go. That might seal your top 3. It is all Cameron Pritchard right now. 2 to go for Pritchard. No cars near him in front, so lap traffic not going to be a factor. As he'll come out of 4, a white flag this time for Cameron Pritchard. Pritchard on rails all night long, a full second. And he's going to win round number 2 here at Eldora. There's your checkered flag, Cameron Pritchard, Dean Garrity, Bowen Smith, your top 3. We will talk to those drivers momentarily. Greg Leonard and Tommy Scott round out top 5. Scott hangs on to stay in the top 5. So drivers on their cool down. They'll bring the top 3 around for us. We'll get the guys into the booth. We know that they'll be coming. Let's see. Looking at the board, it looks like David Fozzard was your hard charge this evening. Fozzard picked up 12 spots. So starting outside the top 20 and finishing in the 10th spot tonight. But let's move these guys around. Let's get them in the right spots here. We don't want to get them in too early. All right. Well, let's get Bowen Smith up here. Bowen Smith, got a copy.
Well, hello there.
Hey, buddy. Another podium run, man. Tell us about that feature. That looked pretty tough out there tonight.
Yeah, it was definitely a rough track.
Yeah, it looked like that quote-unquote cushion was pretty rough to handle. A lot of guys were really eating up the right rear up there. How bumpy was it up on the very top?
I found it actually pretty smooth. I kind of tried to keep the tire width down from the wall, so I wasn't in the roughy shit. But, yeah.
Well, an awesome run, man. Another podium finish for you. Good momentum to start with the week off. Didn't look like you picked up any rest while you were gone.
I've been training a lot. You know, we got the Pro Qualifier Series going on, so got to be training for that. And just run a lot of laps, and figured I'd run some laps tonight, practice up. Turn into a workout.
Well, an awesome run, man. I'm sure you got some shout-outs, some thank yous before we let you get out of here.
All right. Can I shout out Scott Thomason Racing? He is the man.
All right, man. Well, thanks for chatting with us, and we'll look forward to seeing you back next week.
Yep.
Bowen Smith finishing 3rd. Now, he popped into the channel, and I know that was by accident. So we'll get Dean Garrity back in here real quick. He popped in on us. It was an accident. I know it was. He just grabbed the wrong channel. Dean, you there?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, you had to fight hard just to hang on to 2nd. Tell us what was going on out there tonight.
Well, I thought I screwed it all up in the qualifying when I hit the wall and had to start dead last and everything. But yeah, I was just getting the car figured out. You know, we're trying some different stuff tonight to the factory set, just a little more wing, a little more wheel, stuff like that. And I'm just happy to see 4 of our guys in the top 5, and actually glad to get up there without dying. But it was a good race. I thought I was gained on Cam a little bit there after that caution, but I don't think I ever would have had it not had the caution. But then I started stepping on a little bit, and that's when JP was getting all over, or Bowen was getting all over me, but he's pretty fast all the time.
Well, an awesome run nonetheless, and a great podium finish, man. Who you got to shout out tonight before we let you get out of here?
Calder West at Redline Paint, or Redline Race Design, and all my guys. I mean, they all work so hard. You know, everybody shares quite a bit, and you know, Dirty South, the Dirty Sets is a compilation of all of our hard work. So, you know, I just want to thank the guys, and of course, you know, Terrell and all you guys for putting this on. You do a bang up job. Appreciate you.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us. Congrats on a great run. Look forward to seeing you back next week.
Yes, sir.
Dean Garrity finishing second. Now let's go up here and talk to Cameron Pritchard. He made it look pretty easy. He was out to 2 1/4 seconds at one point, caught a caution with 10 to go, but he led it from start to finish, man. Cameron, how'd you do it tonight?
Oh, man, I don't know. I didn't feel great, but after I got a couple laps down, got at least 10 laps in, the car came in, and I just felt great. I felt like I could go anywhere where I wanted. I knew the top was faster, but I knew lap traffic was coming up, and I knew I could go anywhere I wanted. So I knew I was also gapping everybody, so it just feels good to be able to, you know, gap a good lead and actually win without no pressure.
Well, it didn't look like you had a whole lot of trouble with that right rear right up on top of that fluff up there. Some other guys were really bouncing it into the fence. We asked Bowen Smith, and he said he didn't find it too rough because he stayed down just a little bit. I saw your right rear right up on top of it. How rough was the cushion tonight?
At the beginning, it was pretty tight. I grab it, and it would turn me to the wall. I did tap the wall a couple times, but as the night went on, it did slick off, and the cushion did go away, so I was kind of worried about that going away, and the car wouldn't hold and just slide up into the wall. But, you know, just thanks to Dean and the whole 30 South crew for setting up the car and working on it, I was able to stick it up there and just drive away with it.
Well, an awesome run, man. Plenty of shout-outs, I'm sure. I see a lot of folks' names on the side of that car. Who do you got to shout out tonight?
Yeah, Falcons Brothers Trucking, Tribune Performance Industries, and I also got to thank Dirty Sets, Dean and the whole crew. I mean, everybody there, Dave, Greg, Tommy, everybody in that Discord that helps out on the car and everything. I also got to thank Coulter for doing the paint that I got, and thank you guys for putting on the broadcast.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us. Congrats on a great run. We'll look forward to seeing you back next week.
Yeah, thank you.
Cameron Pritchard, your winner this evening. We'll take a quick look at our final results. Pritchard wins it. Garrity was second. Smith in third. Leonard fourth. Scott was fifth. Vanderwerk comes home sixth. Seventh went to Adam. Whiteman in eighth. Darnell ninth. David Fozzard, like we said before, it looks like he was the hard charger. Picks up 12 spots and comes home 10th. Randy Shreves 11th. Miles Jansen 12th. 13th, Cole Shapesky. Brody Brown in 14th. Kellen Sabo in 15th. 16th was Jeff Creamer. Donald Tullis in 18th. 19th, Heath Dietrich. Trace Olson 20th. Dylan Hutchison 21st. Blaine Brink 22nd. JP Scheider. Early exit for Scheider. Looked like the car was fast most of the night, but a couple of issues. He ends up upside down in turn number 1. 23rd for him. And Chase Swafford. An early exit this evening. He will be scored in 24th. So, another week of the Down and Dirty Outlaws in the books. Great racing all night long. Just a few bumps and bruises here and there. But a big win for Cameron Pritchard tonight. I know he had some fans in the chat. And thanks to Stacy for shouting out and sticking with us. Appreciate everybody that hung with us throughout this. Nothing tomorrow night, Tuesday night. PRO Sidewinder Dirt Series 360 Wing Sprint Cars. That'll be a 9 o'clock Eastern start. Be sure you tune in for that. Hopefully we'll get to break in some new talent on that and get the guys to join us, and maybe we'll let them call the race, and we'll just fiddle with the cameras for a little while. But you never know. We're definitely going to be there. But for Dominic Santina, Zach Krieger, Cody Olson, myself here at the Dirt Racing Network, appreciate every time you guys tune in. We know you can watch it anywhere you choose to watch it here. Thank you very much for that. Until we see you the next time.